Hello and welcome. This is going to be an energetic reading for the year ahead to connect with the energy and the messages coming through from our spirit guides, our spirit team, our ascended ancestors, our higher ancestors, and any divine beings that we are working with or working with us to help guide us, show us where we're meant to be on our path. So this is going to be a very intuitive, general reading. So take what resonates and leave what does not. So let's just connect with, well, first let's acknowledge what this past year has been for us. Perhaps it was the most challenging year so far that we've experienced, or perhaps it brought many blessings and abundance. Whatever has transpired for us in the past 12 months, allow this moment to just be a recognition of what has come up, the lessons that were learned, the new insights that came through, and just whatever has occurred for you this year, however big or small. Just taking a moment to acknowledge all of it as being part of your journey. And yes, at times it is very difficult. It is very difficult when we want change. We want to move forward. In certain areas, it can be very difficult, and we can find ourselves just going through the same cycle. So, going into this year, consciously making the changes that are needed in order to experience your desired version of reality, because that's what it's all about, right? It's all about making the rules of your own game and stepping in to the role of divine creator, which is what all of us are in our life. We are the divine creators. So connecting with that energy. Remembering that you are the divine creator. And seeing where you have allowed yourself to believe false stories, to believe the illusion of things that have power over you when they really don't. They have as much power as you give them. So really just piercing through the veil of illusion that you may have been under, even beyond this past year. Are you seeing clearly? Are you really seeing clearly? Remembering that you can take back your power at any given moment. So the first card we have for January is growth, which I love. Starting the year off with the growth card is so perfect, because what is this all about? It is always about growing. It is always about understanding that this is your true nature. You are the outward expanding spiral. And with each increment of the spiral is its own cycle. So as you are expanding outwards, you are closing out the old cycles in order to experience new cycles as you continue on the trajectory of your soul's growth. So I love this card. And it is basically saying that, yes, 2025, you are continuing the growth that you already started in 2024. So this is great energy to start with. Let's take a look for February. We have death, 36. So maybe there is something coming up in February. Could be a potential dark night of the soul. Could be very difficult, but whatever it is, considering it's following the growth card, it's very much the necessary part of your journey. And I actually feel as though this death, whatever this death is symbolizing, either the releasing of old cycles or just outdated ways of thinking, or perhaps seeing whatever is occurring astrologically, whatever the energy is of February that is bringing this death in, it doesn't feel as though it's going to be this really difficult thing. It actually feels as though it's going to be this really easy release, and is something that you've really, really wanted. So again, because death is coming right after growth, it's kind of just the natural unfolding of things. For March, we have guides. So as the death occurs, your capacity to hear messages from your spirit guides, to be perceptive to what lies beyond the veil, is becoming clearer, because you are releasing the fear, you are releasing the illusion, and you are stepping into your power of being fully connected to the divine. No one is gonna be your, let's say, the middleman, right? The middleman between you and your psychic gifts, you and your capacity to communicate with the entities, the beings that you desire to communicate with. So clear messages are gonna come through from your guides, from your elevated ancestors, from your elevated spirit team. Those messages that you are really wanting to connect with, to continue to guide you forward, there's going to be a lot more clarity come March, which actually makes a lot of sense, because March is when the actual new year begins. It is when the seasons change. It is when we have the equinox. It is when the new zodiac, the new zodiacal season starts. So we have Aries season obviously beginning in March. So March is going to bring a lot of clarity, and in a way it kind of makes sense, to be honest. So welcoming in the new insights, welcoming in just your capacity to connect on a deeper level with the unseen. In April, we have time. So this card really means everything occurs in divine timing. So it's really about trusting the divine timeline, and that doesn't fall in the human understanding of time. So that's what this card actually means. But when I think of it with growth, death, and guides, it's coming back to this understanding that we have of time itself, and the way we have been programmed to think of time as opposed to how time actually operates and how we intuitively connect with time. So you may be reassessing your relationship with time. You may be reassessing just any arbitrary model of time that you have signed up to, where you know in your soul that you just don't agree with. And a lot of us are reconnecting to, which is what I was saying in March, it's like the beginning of the actual new year, but it's towards the end of March. So in a way, it's like time showing up in April is like the time is actually now, because winter is actually over, spring is underway. So this is the actual time where new beginnings can occur. So yeah, it's very interesting that we have that card in April. For May, we have air. So what are the new insights that are coming in now that you've connected to this new cycle that feels more intuitively accurate? What are the new insights that are coming in for you? What are the new seeds that you want to plant? What are the new ideas that you want to give birth to? So you can expect in May for there to just be all this new kind of activity in terms of communication and thoughts that you might be having. You might just have amazing new ideas come to you in May. In June, we have grounded, number 22. So as these new insights come in, you want to anchor them in. This card is coming in to say, how are you anchoring in what you desire to create? Anyone can have ideas, but how they are actually carrying out those ideas is a whole different story. So how are you actually carrying out the ideas that are coming to you, the divine insights that you receive? How are you actually anchoring them and committing to them in order for them to actually birth into something solid and tangible? Because it is all about the direction, the doing. So now you've received the insights, you've anchored them in June, and in July it's all about the doing. But it's about the doing in the aligned way. It's not about wasting energy, but it's about believing in yourself to be a leader. Trusting that you have the capacity. I'm getting Emperor energy. Emperor energy is all about the structures. It's very much the divine masculine. So connecting to your divine masculine in this healthy way, in this fully integrated way, in this really powerfully embodied way. It's almost like this new wave of masculine energy. It's not the old wounded masculine energy that you may have been operating under all of these years, where you've just been going and you're like, why am I not getting anywhere? Why am I not getting the results? Why is the work I do never enough? So this divine masculine energy is coming in July, halfway through the year, for you to be like, no, this is how we're actually going to do things. This is how we're actually going to move forward. This is how we're actually going to really believe in ourselves and believe in our mission in this sustainable way. Because that's how you actually change the cycles. That's how you stop doing things the same way you've done them redundantly, and you start moving with a different energy. So believe that you are the leader in your life. Believe that you have the power within you to bring forth the structures that will have the foundations to last. And it's actually going to be sustainable. You're not going to burn yourself out, because you are more in tune with your own energy and the energy that you have created around you. In August, we have shift, number 9. So you are now moving. You've already laid down the structures and now you're moving entirely differently. And people are like, they seem so different. What is it about them? And it's literally that you are an entirely different person. They don't even know how to, like, they cannot guess your next move. They cannot guess anything about you because you have literally shifted into the new version of yourself. And you've allowed yourself to shift. You haven't resisted this shift that your soul has actually been calling in. So with August being the 8th month, 8 being the energy of movement, of things just inherently changing. So it makes sense. It makes sense that you're calling in this energy of things just changing. But it's like this seamless change. You don't have to force it. It's just a natural occurrence. It's very easy. In September, we have home, number 10. So shift 9 and then home 10. So it's like you know, the shift is occurring. You're allowing yourself to be fluid, but it's like this strength in the fluidity. And you basically come home to the truth of who you are, what you are. And also maybe this is the month that you actually lay down roots where you're meant to be. Maybe this is the month where you actually do find the home that you're meant to live in, or the place that you're meant to live in. Or maybe this is you just really coming back home to yourself and really feeling safe in yourself, within yourself, for the first time. That's what I'm picking up on very strongly. It's like you haven't felt safe within yourself, like, ever. If you really, like, really feel deep down inside, you haven't felt safe within your own body for some reason. And this year is just bringing you back to yourself in the most beautiful, incredible way. And this divine masculine energy is really significant. So it's very interesting. For October, we have past life 14, which just came up in the Capricorn new moon reading. But this is being revisited in a, let's say, more positive or more beneficial way. What I'm getting from this is, as you come home to yourself, you are able to connect to the past lives. And by past lives, we mean the lives that are the most connected to your current life. So because everything is essentially one in source consciousness, which is what we are all source consciousness at our core. Everyone has already experienced everyone's lifetimes, essentially. But the past lives that we connect to are the most relevant lifetimes that connect directly to our experience. So this is you in October connecting in this more truly beneficial way of your past life, in how it actually relates to where you currently are come October. So wherever you find yourself in October, you will be in a place to more usefully explore your past lives, to take what is truly useful. Because a lot of people, they just explore their past lives because they want answers. And it's more about taking what is truly useful karmically. Like in your past life, if you accumulated all of this karma, how are you using that to understand your current lifetime? Because it's not about living in the past. It's about learning from what you experienced and seeing how you directly apply it in this lifetime. So you're going to be in a position to actually do that in October. Whereas previously, you may have been looking for answers in your past life without having it empower you in your current lifetime. For November, we have nature spirits. So connecting to the elements, understanding everything is connected, understanding that there is sacred energy that runs through every single being, and that includes your true nature. I'm gonna read the message from this card just to gain more insight. So the elementals, fairies, devas, and other nature spirits request your presence. It is time to venture outside, get into nature, and recharge your batteries with the trees, the grass, the mountains, the desert, and the sea. There is a magic that awaits for you when you commune with nature. So this is a dryad. Dryads are tree spirits and keepers of earth knowledge. Greek in origin, but worshipped by many respected earth-based religions. So I know this seems like, for those in the Northern Hemisphere, in November, going outside is the last thing you want to do because it's freezing. But take that as it comes up for you. But there is going to be very much this calling for you to connect with nature as it comes up with you. But it's going to be more from this place of you are connecting with yourself. It's not like you are going to be connecting with nature in order to get answers, in order to do it in a way that is like you seeking answers externally. You are going to be connecting with nature from this place of already being at home within yourself. So maybe it's something with the past life energy coming up in October that is going to lead you to connecting with nature in a deeper, more intuitive way. It could be something from your past life, perhaps. Only you will know. But this is the energy coming up in November. And for December, we have soulmate 49. So if you have been wanting to call in love, divine partnership, it may be happening in December, or it may be deepening in December, depending on where you are. But it's a very nice energy to end the year with, because at the end of the day, when we think of December, when we think of the holidays or the holy days, what is it all truly about, or what should it all be truly about? Spending time with people that we actually care about. So it's like this time next year, the energy for December is going to be you being around the people that you truly want to be around with. Because maybe, you know, this past December, you weren't around people that you wanted to be with. You did things more from a place of obligation. So in a way, it's like all of this is happening in order to bring you into the vibration of you actually being with people that you really connect with on a deep soul level. Not just people that you're told that you need to be around because that's the societal expectation. So it's really nice energy, and it's just, like I said, it's nice energy to end the year with. It's a very soft, gentle energy. It's very much like just coming home to yourself in a way. And this might not even have to do with other people. It might just be you coming into your own heart. Like you coming into this deeper relationship with yourself and realizing that you are your soulmate first and foremost. But either way, it's a really nice energy to end the year with. So I'm gonna pull some more cards to elaborate on each month, to just see what comes up. And again, just take what resonates from these messages, because only you know. So let's see if we can get some clarity for growth. What is the growth that we are expecting to deepen into in January as we start the year? So we have entities. What's coming up is the spiritual discernment that I channeled in, I think it was the Pluto in Aquarius channeled message. So this is growth in the spiritual realms. What is your spiritual discernment? Because not every single spirit that you interact with is for your highest good. And any of you that are doing spiritual work, that are petitioning to whoever you're petitioning to, gods, goddesses, all of that, it's about really looking deep within and really seeing what resonates. Because you can pick up a lot of extra things in the spiritual realm when you are not operating from this place of discernment and this internal strength. Meaning, you're not coming from this place of, please help me, I need help with this, and I will do anything that's required. The spiritual discernment is, are you choosing to interact with the higher vibrational beings or the lower vibrational beings? Whether you are petitioning to, let's say, fallen angels, or if you are petitioning even to ancestors. Not every single ancestor is an elevated ancestor. So it's really about having that discernment and what feels good. Like, what genuinely feels good to you. If it feels heavy, if it feels like you're doing all this and it just doesn't feel light and it doesn't feel easy, and you just know in your heart that this is not for you. Because a lot of star seeds, for example, we're not meant to do things like ancestral veneration necessarily, because it's not our burden to carry. So see how this resonates for you. But this growth with the entities is very much about having spiritual discernment and responsibility. That's what's coming up, which it feels actually very intense. So someone definitely needs to hear that. For death, we have Fearless and Bernard of Earth, which again came up in the Capricorn reading. So again, what is this energy of taking the leap and doing the work? That's the death that is coming up. Are you willing to let go of that old version of you that's keeping you tied down? Are you gonna allow yourself to actually fly this time and do the work? Once you take the leap, are you gonna do the work? Are you gonna commit to your dreams? Are you gonna embody the version of you that does the work easily? From the divine masculine energy. With guides, for March, we have Breathe. So taking that time out really quietening your mind. Because the act of receiving energy from the other realms, the act of receiving information from the other realms, guidance from the other realms, you have to learn how to listen beyond what is there. It's almost like you're listening to the silence, and then you realize that it's not just silence. That silence is actually filled with it's frequency, it's energy, it's information. That silence is filled with information. But it's up to you to listen. It's up to you to take a moment, learn how to calm your energy. For time, we have Clarence, Star, which is essentially the card of timelessness in a way, because he's really asking you again, how are you limitless? So this new relationship you have with time, this new way of relating with time is by first and foremost connecting to the truth of what you are, which is limitless potential. So from that vibration, what are you going to create with the time that you have? For air, we have descend. So descending in order to get the messages. Sometimes the new insights don't come through until we actually take the underworld journey and really look at what's beneath the surface. Because it's like, as much as we want the new insights, the new ideas, the new information, the change, we want things to change. Like, if we aren't willing to do the deep dive into our psyche, then we're not really going to get the new insights. For grounded, June, we have Isabella of air and migrate. So it's interesting because it's like the energy of May is air, which is all about, you know, obviously things moving quickly. Then we have grounded. And so even though we have this grounded energy of anchoring in the insights after taking the deep dive and descending, or, you know, having the insights come through after the shadow work. Shadow work is coming through with the descend card in May. So after doing the shadow work and yeah, just really going into the depth of everything you need to go into, regardless of how difficult or scary it is. As you are anchoring in these new insights and ideas, Isabella of air is reminding you to trust yourself, to trust the winds of change as you move, as you actually migrate to where you're supposed to go. Because that's where the actual change comes in. So that change you've been praying for, it's actually going to occur through the anchoring in of the new insights. Before you can move, where are you holding yourself stuck? Because shackles is coming up with divine masculine, it's like, what false idea of masculine energy are you still tied down to? How are you keeping yourself shackled? It's almost like you're moving with the migration energy, and then it's like this one last thing is like showing you where you're still a bit chained. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to move forward. It just means that as you're in this new situation, whatever it is, whether you've moved or you've changed relationship or you've changed job, there is going to be this like thread that comes up to show you where you're still kind of tied to this outdated energy or this outdated way of doing something. It's almost like this echo from the past of how you have done things before with this masculine energy. So it's not anything like it's not so significant that it's going to stop you, let's say. Like, it's not really going to stop you. It's more just like this one little thing that's there just to kind of show you, like, okay, maybe I just need to release this one last thing from this pattern that you may have been carrying in relation to masculine energy. Like, are you just continuing to be aggressive, let's say, or very defensive? So for August, with shift, we have rest, which is interesting, because it's like, okay, things are shifting. You are shifting into this new version of self, but you also need to rest. You need to actually take that moment for yourself. It's like with the divine masculine, it's about you knowing what to do and when to do it most efficiently, but then also when to actually rest. And I'm getting like resting in this new version of yourself, resting in the shift that has occurred. Because it's not so much about doing, it's about, because the shift is like, it's gonna happen regardless. So actually just resting in that shift, resting in that trust of things shifting, because you've done the work, you've done the groundwork. For September, for home, we have power. Coming into your power as you feel at home within yourself. Like I said, perhaps this is the first time that you've ever felt at home within yourself. So as you've shifted into this new version and you've taken the time to rest, you're in your power. You know, because you feel how truly powerful you actually are. And this is powerful in an entirely different way that you've experienced this energy of power. It's like this quiet, still power where nothing even enters your field that would disturb your peace, because your energy, your frequency is no longer compatible with the previous chaos that you used to deal with. Because it's coming from this place of spiritual discernment. Because as you increase your discernment, as you raise your energetic standard for what you will and will not interact with and give your energy to, you gain this entirely new sense of power. It's this inner knowing that you have. So for past life, we have illuminate. So again, taking what is truly in resonance with this current lifetime that you're experiencing. What is truly going to illuminate your current experience of this life that you're having. And with all of the work you've done with this new version of yourself, you're actually able to see what is illuminated as you are connecting to whatever past life that you are desiring to connect with. I'm gonna read the energy of the card. As you become well-versed in traveling within the cosmos of self, your truth will shine a lantern on what has been hidden. You are entering a time of great clarity and intention. Your progress might seem slow, but you are moving nonetheless. The changes in perception that occur from clear knowing will not only reinforce the direction of your path, but can change your life entirely. What lantern has been lit? Where is it ushering you to go? So with this illuminate energy, it's very much about trusting that you can take what is most beneficial for you, because you have already obtained that level of discernment. You have already started to operate from that level of discernment. And as you are in this new place of power within yourself, your spiritual exploration, whatever you desire to know beyond the veil, is gonna be in a very different way, because you're not just trying to get the answers for the never-ending questions, but you are discerning with even the information that you're seeking, because you're only taking what truly applies. You're only taking what is truly useful. We have reflections. So seeing how you reflect in nature. Nature is you. You are one and the same. How have you felt fragmented with your relationship with nature? What has caused you to have a fragmented relationship with nature? It's almost like through connecting with nature, you're going to come into the state of wholeness. All of these pieces are going to come back to the whole. And you're going to just get this new sense of power. This is kind of reiterating the breathe energy with guides in April. It's like, take this time to reflect. Take this time to slow down. Just like nature is very slow. Nature has its own way of moving. So through you intuitively connecting with nature in your own way, it could be psychic communication with plants. It could be just going outside and placing your hands on the earth, or placing your hands on the trees, or just feeling yourself connected to the wind. It's like all those parts of you that have been fragmented are just gonna come into the state of wholeness in this moment of you just being able to connect in your own way with nature. Not the way other people have told you that you need to connect, but very much your own knowing. So for soulmate December, we have flight. So again, this energy of trusting in your dreams, trusting in the value of your dreams. So maybe with this, whether this is the new relationship you come into with yourself, that is the source of energy required for you to actually take flight come December. I'm gonna read the message of the card. Can you feel the wind against your back? It is time. Sacrifices are made when faced with truth. Fear is the symptom of a change that is needed. I am with you. You are not alone. These wings were meant to carry you forward. Allow yourself to free fall into the space beyond. Fly. So maybe with this soulmate energy, you come into this new aspect of yourself that basically trusts that you are supported as you take whatever risk is needed. It could be literally like, maybe you're thinking about moving across the world to go and be with your soulmate, and it's requiring you to literally fly and be with them, to move and be with them. So it could be in that very literal sense, or it could just be that desire to fly, meaning that desire to venture into new territory, to travel in a much lighter way, because you've either met the person that is your actual soulmate, or you've come into this deep soul connection, and it's basically giving you like this lightness of being. It's not tying you down the way other relationships might have tied you down, or you're not feeling tied down by yourself, let's say. So I'm gonna just see the bottom of the deck energy before I close out the reading. So we have full moon, which again came up in this last reading. So that energy of the message of closing out the cycles as the wheel of life turns and we look at these various iterations of ourselves. So what is the culmination point that comes up from all of this? And being proud. The full moon card is basically asking you to allow yourself to be proud of everything that you've accomplished. Allow yourself to be proud of this new version that you've grown into. And allow that to fill up your entire being. It's the state of wholeness. The bottom of the deck energy for Guided by Spirit is Constellation. So knowing that you are connected, even if you might feel alone, you are still connected at your core with your true soulmates, your true soul family. So you may not be physically together, but you have that deep connection and you can literally visualize a constellation. So it's almost like everyone that does the work, it can be lonely because you're doing the work on your own in this lifetime, let's say. But those who also do the work, they are connected with you. So you may not be physically with them, but you still have that connection. So this was the reading for the year ahead. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next video. Take care.